SGL, welcome on in for this absolute banger of a matchup we are gonna have in the Premier Cup. It's Saturday night. We have the Seahawks versus the 49ers going on, and that is always a fiery matchup whenever those two sides meet up. This time, though, in SGL, we have something similar cooking with a win or go home matchup between KC Cauldron of Sporting Kansas City and Timbers Army of the Portland Timbers. This is the only Mazar, and I am not alone in the commentary booth tonight, so slide on in.
Hello, welcome SGL. We have a great match tonight. Timbers Army, KC Cauldron. Timbers Army, a team at the very top of our leaderboards in regular season. KC Cauldron looking to stay alive. It's going to be a great night.
Absolutely, and we only have a couple of minutes to kick off, so let's just jump right in to the Premier Cup bracket to see what's going on and how that is shaping up right now. And as you can see, we're getting closer and closer to the final. We have eliminated, I believe, 2 of the sides so far. Sounders RC and Emerald City RC. There's potential for all Cascadia teams in the Premier Cup to be eliminated tonight. But, you know, Timbers Army have always looked strong in the face of adversity. Meanwhile, KC Cauldron, they did win their first round to go into the upper semifinal, but faced a strong Frontera Chrome team who are in the grand final, as you can see right here. And now for them, it is a very tough matchup that they have to deal with.
Yeah, Timbers Army, a team that we've seen sort of dominate and show real brilliance this year in the regular season, and I think you can expect them to show some great things. And KC Cauldron, they're gonna go for it too, and we'll have a great match.
Indeed, and I cannot wait for that. Nelly, good to see you in chat, as well as Shaybomb, Cyberburn, good to have you on board as well. Nelly's calling this a flu game for Timbers Army. Flu games have been 50-50. I mean, you know, there's no flu buff, unfortunately, in SGL. We'll see how you guys do.
Unless they have the Michael Jordan of SGL.
Yes, they do. I mean, Loy Boy has been absolutely spectacular, hasn't he?
He has been absolutely great, and we could see him do some Michael Jordan stuff, so I'm really looking forward to that.
And looking at this right here, Andrea, I mean, those are definitely Michael Jordan-like numbers, aren't they? 49 goals in 33 games off of 152 shots. This guy is all about volume, but it's not purely about volume when it comes to his gameplay. It's also about quality, especially when he gets pushed to his limits. Then you start to see the best of Loy Boy.
With that many shots to have a shot percentage that high, it's just insane. That really is Jordan stuff. I think he might be having the best season of anybody in SGL right now. So we'll be looking to see him continue that tonight.
And let's not dismiss his teammates as well. I mean, Piglet has stepped up big time this season. 14 goals in 13 games. Also contributing defensively. But for him, he has been one of the most potent attacking players in Timbers Army. Doing a great job coming up and cleaning up, as well as getting the finishes at the back post whenever a pass comes off the backboard or gets across the goal. So we'll see how much he gets involved. I guess this
Nelly over.
Sorry.
And then you have Nelly over here with 19 goals, which on any other team would look absolutely amazing. And it really just goes to show they're just shooting, and they have been really aggressive, and it's worked out for them.
And last but not least, Andrea, Rydog himself. And speaking of Rydog, we have Mama Rydog in the chat. Good to see you. We'll see how much your boy gets to play, but I'm sure he's going to be heavily involved tonight. Because when the going gets tough, Rydog definitely steps up, especially defensively. I mean, this guy was one of, if not the best defensive player in SGL last season. This season has been no different.
Yeah, he's also pulling out a lot of demos here as well. A lot of demos, a lot of saves. Good defensive stuff.
And don't be surprised if that is what he's going to pull out against this KC Cauldron team. As we see right here, they have 3 very dangerous players in Fatality, Serrano, and Smitty, all of whom can deliver individually, but when you put them all together, their team play goes to the next level, Andrea.
Yeah, and I'll also be excited to watch Funch play, and I don't think I've actually seen him play yet. So I haven't tuned in for a game of that, so I'd like to see some rotation. Just selfishly, it's always nice to see a whole team.
You know, if they do have a full squad around, I'd love to see some rotation from Cauldron. Same with Timbers Army, for that matter. I love rotations from both teams. When it comes to Punch, I'm glad you brought him up. He's been getting better and better throughout these past few seasons. He's been around for a while. So, you know, we'll see if he has to stay in and play every game, or if they have the ability to rotate, maybe get some more appearances from some of the other players.
Yeah, and it also looks like we're starting to have people hopping in, so we're going to be going pretty soon.
Indeed. Let's get started. Everyone's in. Andrea, whilst we get ready to kick off, what's your prediction for tonight?
I think we'll see a Timbers Army win. I'm not sure if we'll see a sweep. This is Premier. We have some great players on both sides. I think I'll go 3-2, maybe or not 3-2. 7-game series. I think we'll also see some fun cup matches, maybe some drop shot, probably some Rumble with how many people have been picking Rumble tonight, but we've started.
And what a start it is for Timbers Army right here. Straight off a kickoff, Timbers Army looked dominant. Nelly popping it up to Loyboy with his smirk, bouncing the ball off of the ceiling. And Nelly's there to tap it into the back of the net. 69 miles per hour, 111 kilometers per hour, off of Allen'sBangersOnly.com radar gun. And KC Cauldron are down 1-0.
That's a wonderful pass from Loyboy. I mean, he just subverts their expectations. They're expecting a certain type of shot, and he just lobs that up to Nelly. And he's done it again. He puts it in the air in the perfect place for his teammates.
And poor Funch right there having to deal with it yet again. It was his failed kickoff that led to Timbers Army's first goal, and now he's at the back looking slow again, struggling to launch off a kickoff. Still trying to settle in and get used to this game, I guess. But finally, Casey Cauldron
really...
gets the ball stuck in the other end. Not for long, though.
Ooh. Yeah, things are really not settling here as Loyboy, he just gets a long distance shot there, and things just... KC Cauldron not able to grow into the game because they keep getting dunked on.
Not just dunked on, they're just too slow to get to the ball, and Loyboy just had an easy long shot right there. No one back to deal with the long shot as well. I'm gonna say this lineup from KC Cauldron is very interesting. We haven't seen these three play together too often. Funch, Smitty, and Serrano. Smitty, very much an attacking player. Serrano, all-rounded, can do it all. And then there's Funch, who's basically the support cast of the team. But right now, they're just really struggling to gel and get used to each other. Meanwhile, this usual trio of Timbers Army is their main team, so it's no surprise to see them go strong.
I still really like the decision to rotate, decide to start somebody that's really you're still getting used to, and try to grow into things, and you know, because in the future you want that person to be a bigger part of your team, and so I kind of support that. I think that's really good, and we'll see how that works out for the rest of this match.
And it's taken us a while, but KC Cauldron are finally settling in. No fourth goal conceded in like the past minute or so, which is not too bad for these guys. Funch popping it up, trying to go for goal, but Loyboy just has it easy right now. He gets it out. Smitty taking over, lets it go. Funch has a shot! Straight to the middle, though, and Nelly was right there to meet the ball. Timbers Army get an easy save, but KC Cauldron got their first shot on target.
For the first time, they're threatening, and that's going to be really crucial going into this. And Nelly with a shot, not quite on target, able to easily be cleared out there by Smitty. But they're attacking now. They're settled in. They're attacking. They're going to see some chances pretty soon.
For sure, and that should be encouraging for them. But the ball just doubles in the middle. Serrano doesn't have any boost. So not Serrano, Smitty didn't have any boost to get to that. Serrano's now up at the sidewall, getting to it. Oh, Loyboy should have gone a contact on that. Gets away with it.
I feel he should have scored there, but he's done so great today that you almost don't want to criticize him.
No, seriously, yeah. Now,
We
Andrea,
all
one
miss
thing I
those
want to
shots sometimes.
bring up right here is, KC Cauldron, try as they might, they have been getting better as the game has progressed, but this Timbers Army team looks incredibly comfortable. What do you do against a team like this that just looks so confident on the field?
Well, yeah, they're just confident on the ball. They're just making easy decisions in defense, and it just feels like they're a little faster. They're doing more through the air. It feels like they have a lot more of the field to their own, and I think you just got to be aggressive, and because you're coming into it down 3-0 now, you got to be aggressive and sort of throw caution to the wayside. I feel like don't get scored on, but you got to do some more desperate things. Go for the clips.
And Timbers Army, I mean, they held on for the past 2 minutes, and then they get an opening right on, high off of this corner, down to Nelly right in the middle, and Nelly gets his hat trick. Timbers Army are up 4-0. What a dominant start to this match.
Absolutely, and Rydog, I mean, his team got the clip there. He had a beautiful drive in the corner there. Just, what was it, 3 taps, 4 taps?
I think it was like 3 or so, yeah. Can't recall, honestly, before he got the pass off.
Loyboy go for something crazy, but nothing doing. And we have only 1 minute remaining, and it is 4-0.
It should have been 4-1, though. That was an open net. Oh, Fudge is not going to be happy about that. Ooh. But now they got to get back in
Loyboy
the
going for the double tap.
Here's Army. Even if they're not, like, at the top of their game, they're looking so good right now, and they might be able to get their 5th. They do. Loyboy gets his 2nd. Now, he's on a hat trick as well. 5-0 to Timbers Army. We have only 35 seconds remaining.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going for broke. They're a little bit too far out, and net just gets left open. There's nothing they can do about it, and so we're 5-0, 30 seconds left, and I think KC Cauldron are starting to think, what game mode do we do next at this point?
I mean, they absolutely have to, but they should also focus on trying to get at least 1 goal in this, get their confidence boosted up a little bit. They've been getting the chances.
Well, yeah, you always play as if you can win the game.
Yeah, pretty much. So we wait for the clock to tick down. One last chance. No, Nelly denies that. Timbers Army start off this lower quarterfinal cup match with a dominant 5-0 win.
Absolutely, and Timbers Army did not look stoppable there. They just pummeled them, and I feel like there were actually some good chances there for KC Cauldron once they got settled in at that 3-0, but that 4th goal just sort of ended any hopes. He's kind of a momentum killer for them.
Yeah, well said. We'll see if this game mode that's going to come up is going to make a difference for KC Cauldron, but they've had a rough start so far.
What do you think they pick?
I've already seen what they picked, so I'm not going to say.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to guess because I haven't seen. I think, honestly, I think they'll pick Rumble. It's been sort of the funny pick, and I also think that it really shakes things up, and when you go down 5-0, maybe you want to shake things up. Although, I see snow.
Indeed, we are going to be going in to Manfield again, this time with snow, because we are playing Snow Day in Game 2.
How thematic for the season as we go to a beautiful game of hockey with Rydog trying to drive early, but nobody there for him, and things are looking as they kind of did before, but always a little bit harder to get it into the net in Snow Day.
Not just harder to get the puck into the net, but it's also harder to keep the puck in the air. This bad boy is heavier than a soccer ball, and it struggles to bounce, as you can see right there. So maybe their plan is to kill the aerial game that has seen Timbers Army thrive, although Loyboy is still doing pretty fine with this work.
Yeah, Timbers Army has some of the best aerial game in the entire league, and they showed it in that first game. So if you can stop Loyboy from hitting it off of the ceiling and putting it right to his guy, maybe you do a little bit there, as Timbers Army still finding a way through the middle.
Ooh, that is unfortunate. You can see what Smitty tried to do, but he just went too far, missed the puck completely, and it just slides into the back of the net. Timbers Army are up 1-0, and every time Timbers Army takes the lead, it's very difficult to come back against them.
Indeed, and it always feels a little bit easier to do things accidentally in Snow Day, as Loyboy going for something crazy with a puck.
Now it's Fudge's turn to bring it forward, but he just doesn't get the beat on Nelly. Serrano, oh, he struggled right there. The 50 gets it into loose, open space. Fudge, nice job right there to beat Rydog. Smitty has control. It's on top of his Octane, but he lets it go at the worst time. And now Loyboy and Nelly combine to get the puck out.
He just can't get it to rotate with him like a soccer ball would, can he? And it just leads to it sort of going wide, and we're not talking about much happening here.
But it is still 1-0. Unlike game one, they haven't conceded a few quick-fire goals. They're still in this. They just got to hold on right here and capitalize on a counterattack.
Snow Day does have a bit more of a chaos factor than a lot of other game modes, for sure. It's because it's so hard to score that all you got to do is stay in it, and it's really easy to stay in it and play defense. Much harder to score, but as Fudge puts me to shame talking about much harder to score, he goes right through the air as if it was a normal soccer ball.
Once again, both Nelly and Loyboy tried to work together to get the puck through, but an incredible 50 by, I believe that was Serrano, gets the puck right into the middle. Fudge, realizing what was happening, power slides to it, gets the shot into the open net, and Casey Cauldron are back in it now.
And the first time today, we have Casey Cauldron on the board. So they're going to look at this and say, we got a really good chance at this. We've started great.
But just like that, you can see Timbers Army just piling up the pressure there. Stuck in that blue half. Casey Cauldron struggling to get out. Oh, Fudge, I see what he tried to do there. Try to get the wall pitch. Doesn't get any contact on it, though. Now they're back already. Chance right there. Huge clearance. Loyboy tries to take over and does just enough to get the puck out.
I think what's so great about Snow Day for them is that pressure doesn't matter as much when it so often just slides right past the goal and nobody's able to do anything. So as Smitty gonna try to redirect, but it's just not the easiest thing to do, is it?
Fudge taking over in the midfield, gets a nice 50. The puck is loose yet again. Big demo on Nelly. We haven't seen too many demos and bumps come out in this game mode. That's one thing you typically see when Snow Day is out. A lot of people try to go for the bumps and demos, given how much time the puck spends on the ground. Starting to see a bit more of it come out now from Casey Cauldron. But Timbers Army yet again do a great job of holding on. Great attempt there by Loyboy to do it on his own, but good defending in response.
Yeah, Timbers Army is keeping the pressure up, but it's just so much harder to score it. They've kind of been shut down through the air because it's so easy to shut somebody down through the air here, and Loyboy's trying some aerial stuff, though. He's trying his normal stuff, but it's just so much easier to block that than it would be with a soccer ball. And you just need less precision for the block than you do for the shot. And Smitty just pushing that out, taking it forward. Loyboy going to try to go through the air again? And no.
Bit of a stalemate right now between these two sides, but all it takes is one opening and one opportunity. Not a clean effort right there. Understandably so, that puck was whizzing across the goal. Casey Cauldron have really struggled to create a good opportunity since their equalizer. They've been more backs against the wall, and Serrano has to come across to get that save, but it's not over yet. Nelly off the ceiling, misses the puck. Serrano gets a clear to Rydog. who can get a 50 off Fudge, but Fudge gets there first and gets into the corner. As we count down the final 5 seconds, Fudge tries to waste more time, but the puck is still not gone down. It's still up. Smitty kicking off a counterattack. Fudge pops it up. Smitty trying to go for it on his own. And the puck finally goes out. And Chat and Andrea, we have overtime in game 2.
What a sequence. I really thought they were going to put that in there and make this 1-1 overall, but here we go to overtime, and we could see this deadlock last for a while here.
Timbers Army have done really well in overtimes. They've been able to finish it relatively quickly, but we'll see if they can do it against this KC Cauldron side. Bunch in particular has really grown into this game mode and looks really, really good. If I'm not mistaken, he does enjoy playing Snow Day, so it makes sense to see them go for it so early to try and get back into this matchup.
Sorry for the distraction. Fireworks outside my door. Somebody's celebrating KC Cauldron taking this to overtime, and right outside my door. But as we continue, this is looking like a bit of a deadlock.
But Timbers Army have that initiative, Andrea. Even though it has been, stuck in the middle, they've done better at bringing the puck into the blue half. They've done a better job of creating chances. KC Cauldron, every single time Timbers Army bring the puck forward, they just drop back and get themselves set up in front of the net. Understandably so, but it does mean that they don't get to spend as much time maintaining the pressure. Oh, how can you when Loyboy is able to do this and create a chance for Rydog?
In a game mode where that last-ditch defending works so much better, it almost kind of makes sense. Although that's not very good.
Nearly goes in there. KC Cauldron holding on tight. Rydog, I know, has been scarred by KC Cauldron's defending in the past. He has to deal with it yet again. This trio of Fudge, Smitty, and Serrano are holding on for their dear lives, and it makes sense because it is win or go home in the Premier Cup. And if they can beat the best here in Timbers Army, they have the potential to win it all.
And absolutely, and I think in the past few, 30 seconds to a minute, they really are actually unlocking a little bit more when it comes to attacking. So we have a pretty even keel overtime so far. I don't really think I've seen anything that looked like it absolutely should have gone in. We had things like that right there where it's open net, but it's like nobody's in the right position. As is going to put this thing 1-1 with just a beautiful little dunk. It's just sitting there juicily for him. He goes for the 50. Rydog loses that 50, and we are 1-1.
Serrano was the architect of that game winner, bringing it out from the corner, faking and playing mind games with both Rydog and Loyboy. As the puck dropped into the middle, it sat up perfectly for Fudge to force it into the back of the net, and KC Cauldron take advantage of their game mode choice. It is tied 1-1 in this matchup, and that's exactly what the Sporting KC boys needed.
And you actually see on our stats that Serrano had the best stats in this game. So I don't know. Maybe they were attacking a little bit more than we saw them. Maybe it's just all that last-ditch defense. I mean, if you look over here, 5 saves. Nobody else has anywhere close to that, as Serrano sort of kept things together for KC Cauldron all throughout this game.
We are going back to Soccer, though, in Game 3, Andrea. That's where Timbers Army have looked so strong. And then don't think we're going to see any subs. I think both teams are just going to stick with these 3 players. Who knows? I mean, it's going to be a tough...
Here.
Sorry?
Oh, sorry. We have. I didn't realize you were continuing. That you were so. We had trash talk.
I just saw that at the last second. I don't remember what they were talking about. Do you mind
Lloyd
highlighting
said,
that?
"Holy park the bus."
I mean, it's snow day. What else are you supposed to do?
Yeah, parking the bus worked.
But you know what? Now they don't need to worry about any bus being parked, because here we go. Game 3 in DFH, and it is Soccer. The ball is going to be bouncier. The ball is going to move way more. That should be advantageous for Timbers Army.
Indeed, and watching this is already a little soothing to the soul, as we actually almost have an opening goal from KC Cauldron here.
That Game 2 has given them so much more confidence now. Look at the pressure they're delivering. Loyboy with zero boost gets it out, but now Casey Cauldron looked to take control.
Yeah, more aggressive out the gate for sure. But Timber's Army trying to go right back to it, and I mean, it's snuffed out, and we're back on attack from a Casey Cauldron.
Great cut right there as well from Smitty, but now someone needs to take over from Cauldron. Fudge gets there. Serrano rotating in, gets another 50. Smitty now. Who's going to finish it off? The ball's loose in the middle. Fudge diving in, and the pressure remains, but Timber's Army are now doing a good job defensively to hold off this Casey Cauldron side.
Yeah, but it's last-ditch defending here from Timber's Army, and I think that will probably do it, Loyboy, with a nice clearance that sort of turns it on to the attack for them, as Nelly going with a shot, not quite able to put that in, but I mean, on the counter, that was beautiful.
Loyboy keeps it going. High pass up. Nelly had a very difficult assignment right there. Still does a good enough job to get a double off that backboard. Now Smitty on the counterattack. Had one more to beat, but he just didn't have the boost to beat Nelly. And right now, Timber's Army winning the boost game. Might see them get the opener right here. Loyboy into the middle. Smitty with a big save. I'm sorry, that was Smitty and Fudge going in for it. Fudge got the save right there at the end.
Indeed, and I don't know, Casey Cauldron, they just look better through the air here. They look faster. It's just everything that you could have criticized about that match one. They're just doing it slightly better, and things look a lot more even keel right now.
This is a very tense game 3, isn't it? I think Timber's Army now have to respect the opposition more, but now they have an opening right there, Andrea, and somehow the ball didn't go in. Smitty recovering with zero boost, and it's still 0-0.
Yep, great defending from Smitty, and they're just doing the little stuff better. They're doing the big stuff better. I mean, they look a lot better here. They look like the aggressor. They look like the team more likely to get the next goal. I mean, of course, the moment I say that, it'll be the opposite, except no, it is not, as Smitty just gets it past Nelly, who is just not able to do anything. He bites a little early, and Smitty just gets it right to the left of him.
We talked about Serrano being the architect for the game winner in game 2. That was all Bunch. Getting that bump on Loyboy, clearing him out, and letting Smitty have the dribble to beat Nelly, who was out of position. And that's a huge goal for Casey Cauldron. Timber's Army are behind for the first time in this matchup. Let's see how they respond.
And it really does feel like a lot of this series, it's a 7-game series, obviously, but there is a bit of momentum pivot if Casey Cauldron is able to wrap this up and keep it going in their favor. As Serrano's going to go for a shot a little bit high, but they are just playing aggressive as hell right now.
Ooh, that pass just didn't come off. Fortunately for them, Timber's Army have a third back there. Serrano off the backboard. Someone's got to go up. Spinning to the bunch. Oh, no clean finish. Loyboy goes for the boost instead, and now Timber's Army are kicking off their counter.
Yeah, it's just shot after shot after shot and shot. Smitty going for it from downtown. Beautiful.
You cannot believe that went in. Loyboy lets the ball go. Nelly was not ready for it, and a huge open net at the back. Nelly didn't have the boost to get up to the ball, and Timber's Army are now down 2-0 with 95 seconds remaining.
They're playing faster, they're playing more aggressive, and they're boost-starving the hell out of Nelly over here, who could make the save if it weren't for the fact that he was down to like 30.
Now we see the demos start to come out. And a huge dunk attempt right there by Nelly, but it just goes off target. Fudge with a big beat, and the ball now goes into the other half. Loyboy doing nice to cut and get to the ball first. Fudge has been so much better after the game 1 drubbing. He has been a big contributor against what is a strong Timber's Army trio right here.
He's been a playmaker tonight since the snow day game. He's been Serrano nearly making the shot of a century, just a little high.
I wonder if this game is going to prompt Loyboy to get back to his usual Fennec, because he's been playing with the Merc and has looked pretty good. But maybe now he's going to pull his pants up and, you know, start to go into business. Because with the team 2-0 down, Timber's Army need to get a goal right now, and they might. Loyboy beating one, faking, open. Smitty doesn't get bumped. Smitty bumps Nelly. The ball is still there at the goal mouth. Not over yet. Final shot off target. Loy Boy with 11 seconds remaining gets one back. And let's get ready for these final few seconds because these Timbers Army boys are stepping up and they're going to make things very nervous for Casey Cauldron.
Yeah, 11 seconds in a dream. Casey Cauldron got boost starved on that last one. He just had to defend. Not a good kickoff if you are a Timbers Army fan, though, as this is sort of languishing in the center. Not much doing for anybody except for maybe Casey Cauldron here, but Schmitty not able to do anything with that, and it's not looking good, but they might try to keep this in the air. Loy Boy extending. Schmitty trying to do something there. Ooh. Rydog can't keep it in the air.
That was it. That was the moment. Rydog just couldn't get to the ball after that bounce off the corner. And now they are down 2-1. But in their favor, they get to pick the next game mode.
I think they'll go for something that is... I think they'll either go for a 2v2 or I think they might pick drop shot. I think they want to go for something that's very aerial heavy. I think they want to show their prowess through the air. They've been amazing through the air lately, so we'll see.
By the way, it's incredible to see Nelly with just 56 points despite having only 2 less touches than Rydog. He has been involved, but he really struggled in this game. Meanwhile, on the blue end, Serrano with only 110 points, and I thought he was more involved than that, but he definitely took a backseat to let Smitty and Fudge play their game.
Oh yeah, Smitty was amazing. He had some great playmaker plays. Funch was an amazing playmaker. I'm not sure, a playmaker is the term in Rocket League for 3 assists, so I guess
yes.
Technically.
No, but I get what you mean. I absolutely get what you mean. Totally.
But I was right. We're going to drop shot.
We are indeed, and this is definitely favorable for Timbers Army. But again, we said that about Sokar. Let's see if they can take advantage.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. It looks like we are having some difficulties.
Yeah, we're going to have to reset the lobby. So if you're seeing what you're seeing right now, it's because, well, the game was kicking off, but we were not ready to kick off yet. So
that's the SGL official Rocket League car.
That's the Octane.
Absolutely. The Octane is best car. I'll fight anybody who says otherwise.
Sorry if I'm quiet. It's because I'm trying to set things up and make sure everything's good to go. So,
indeed. How do you think Casey Cauldron takes that momentum into drop shot against a player like Loy Boy, who's just a menace through the air?
Well, first of all, they got to make sure that they are... First of all, they got to make sure that they don't stay grounded for too long. They got to be aggressive. They got to meet them head on. No hesitation. Commit to whatever decision they're making and stick with it. Because the moment you start to hesitate against a team like Timbers Army, you're going to really struggle.
Absolutely, and I think we'll see some great comebacks. And it's a very streaky game, drop shot. At 1 second, you think you're way ahead, and then next second, they put a tiny hole in your side, and then they score in it, and everything you did doesn't matter at all. Looks like the Seahawks beat the 49ers, so what a great sports night.
Maybe that's why you were hearing the fireworks.
Oh, that might have been it. Yeah, I just assumed they were leftover New Year's fireworks, I gotta be honest with you.
I mean, they are leftovers, but, you know.
Okay, join private match. And it's looking like we have the lobby up. So we will get some great drop shot play to you guys soon. All right, looks like we're going in.
Yes, and we are about to kick off here very soon. Drop shot in game 4. Here we go.
And we're looking at the same team from KC Cauldron. Same team, it looks like, from Timber's Army as well. So Timber's Army is just going to run it back. We haven't really seen much rotation today. And, well, let's see how this goes. As we have a nice shot from Nelly, trying to open up a tear, but Smitty able to deal with that. And things settled in. Nobody's gotten a lot of damage yet, although Loyboy able to get some great damage there. And they've opened a massive hole already.
Yeah, we were starting to see Timber's Army look way more comfortable spending that time in the air. They've already gotten a ton of damage. I don't think KC Cauldron have even gotten one single hex of damage.
One square.
Oh, they have one hex.
And that's the shot! Nearly puts it in there already. That's another shot. That looks like it's going to go in. Serrano able to stop that. But yeah, Timber's Army looking a lot better through the air here and just sort of able to stop everything that KC Cauldron is doing. And that is a quick goal. Not allowing much damage on their side at all.
That is
Loyboy with a cheeky little touch.
That is a surprisingly poor touch from Serrano, I'm not going to lie. I thought he was going to take control of it, but he just gifts it to Loyboy, who then taps it in to the big opening in the blue half. And this is a huge goal for Timber's Army because they go up 1-0 and there's barely any damage in their end.
Yeah. And so you need to sort of just like turn things all the way around here, and we still haven't seen much damage at all from KC Cauldron. As that ball is blue, but Loyboy able to sort of just deal with that, and that's ultra damage there from Rydog. They're already doing more damage for the second.
This is looking really bad for KC Cauldron. At least Timber's Army kept it close in Snow Day. This is just domination from the Portland Timbers boys. A huge opening yet again in the blue half. KC Cauldron have yet to really impose themselves, finally getting a bit more damage on the board, but still no opening for them.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't opened a hole yet, and we're 2 minutes in. This is, they need to turn things around right now if they want to win this, essentially. And that is a good hit from Serrano, but Rydog just able to handle it. There is a hole on Timber's Army side. If they can score on a small hole like that, they can turn things around. That is one of the beautiful things about Drop Shot. Comebacks are really doable, and it feels great to just open the smallest of holes and open it back up, and it counts all the same. So we'll see if they're able to do that, but right now Timber's Army looking very much in charge of this one as the hole gets bigger on Timber's Army's side, showing a little bit more cracks. But yeah, some dominance here from another hole from Timber's Army.
And we're talking about finishing off of a single hex. We've seen that from Smitty in the past already, but it's Loyboy who is getting the easy finishes, beating both Serrano and Smitty to the ball. And all he had to do was just push it down into that blue opening. Timber's Army double their lead, and honestly, I'd like to call it here because I don't see how KC Cauldron can come back from this.
It would be very difficult, yes, but and you have to say, you have to think that it could just roll down there, but instead he's not even gonna take any chances. He bashes it into the ground, and that's just really good play. As they're gonna make another ultra damage spot here. Just dominant.
I like that bit of play from Serrano and Smitty earlier, trying to go for a strong pitch shot, but nothing's coming off for them. And Funch is looking completely out of his element as well. Try as he might, and he has been trying here. The ball has spent way too much time in the air for him to really get going, and the rotations are vastly different as well. So if you're not experienced in this game mode, you're gonna struggle to get going.
Ooh. Nelly nearly scores there, opens up that hole even more. Loyboy hitting it off the ceiling into that massive gaping hole. And Casey Cauldron haven't even opened much of a hole at all yet. So it's weird. You see them win in threes, and you think, oh, well, you know, they have the wacky game modes in their pocket, maybe, and then they win at threes. Maybe they can turn things around. And then, I mean, we go to drop shot, and Timbers Army is just way better through the air here in this game mode. This is when you really got to practice.
Yep, absolutely. And for Loyboy, he's looked at home in this game mode, getting his hat trick as well. A worthy hat trick, too. I mean, he's been absolutely dominant. A big opening right there. The ball just needed to get dunked in, but Timbers Army do just enough to keep it out. And they're very looking likely to keep the clean sheet in this game 4.
Nearly actually lost the clean sheet there, but it's just not enough. Funch gonna try to put that there, but it's just slightly off target. That might be a goal there. Loyboy's got to do something, but he does something, and it also causes ultra damage again. It's been ultra damage hit after regular damage hit. Like, they are just pummeling Casey Cauldron's side.
And maybe this is the sort of response they wanted. They wanted to be this relentless, show no mercy to this Casey Cauldron side, who are running out of time to even get a bit of a comeback going. And at this stage, yeah, it's all over. Even though Fudge does get one back, they got to damage the floor almost instantly in the orange half and get 2 quick fire goals. And with 14 seconds remaining, that is a very, very difficult ask.
If they were down by 1, I'd say it's still possible. But yeah, down to 7 seconds per goal, you have to open up a hole and score. You need 2 hits to open a goal. So that's 3 hits.
And when the ball spends that much time in the air, it's all over. Timbers Army win game 4. They tie the match back at 2 apiece. And they have the momentum on their side now.
Yep, and there is no hole, so we won't even be able to get a 2-3. So the only possibility is 4-1 or 3-1. So they're keeping it up, but there really is nothing for Casey Cauldron as Nelly knocks that down, and that's that.
What a close match this has been, by the way. It's just been back and forth, punch, counter punch. You know, one team initiates and takes the advantage. The other team responds and gets back into it. But we have not seen a drubbing like this in an extra game mode in a while. Loyboy with a dominant 2,072-point performance. Put this one in the history books for SGL.
Absolutely. And oh my. Drop shot stats are wacky. 2,072 points from Loyboy. What a performance from him. That's a lot of damage.
Deep Sea, you were absolutely right. Loyboy absolutely popped off right there. Casey Cauldron stood no chance against this team. I mean, this is what Timbers Army wanted. They got their way. And after that incredible performance, who knows? We'll see if they can carry this over into the upcoming threes game.
And I mean, Casey Cauldron, you can't count them out. They've already won in threes once today. If they can do the same thing, this is a game that I could see going all the way. I mean, we're really close to a 7-game series already. So this is going to be a really fun one. And I'm excited to see how this plays out. And I think a lot of it might hinge on this one right here.
Here we go. Game 5. This is going to be critical for both teams. Whoever wins this, personally, I can see them winning the whole match. So, who will take the advantage between Casey Cauldron and Timbers Army?
Absolutely, and Funch is they're trying to go aggressive like they did in that game they won. They are trying to start that way, and I cannot blame them because that was sort of the shift that allowed the same group of players to play entirely differently against a team that at first they went 5-0 against. So we'll see how that works out here. Serrano trying to do some last-ditch turtle defending, and we're sort of settled in here. Nelly nearly opens things up, though.
Casey Cauldron are boosted at the moment, though. They're going to be stuck back there if they don't get a big clearance going their way. Nelly has all the boost. Fudge says, I'll let it go because Loyboy is coming in. He might get the opener. He gets the flip reset, but the ball ricochets out of the corner. And Reinhardt needed to backflip to get back. He was not ready for that bounce. And the post and crossbar come into Casey Cauldron's aid.
Yeah, it almost seems like he sabotaged himself there. I think that was on target for a second, but I mean, you know, you girl bossed a little too close to the sun, if I do say myself. But I mean, they're gonna thank their lucky stars there, Casey Cauldron, because that really did look like that was the opening, and they get a little lucky. They get away with it. But Serrano, they're pushing forward now, and they have full boost right now. So we'll see what they can do on this attack. Loyboy just beautiful sort of aerials to clear it out, though. It's like, how do you face that, man?
Well, you face that by forcing a loose touch off of Loyboy, but even that wouldn't be enough because Timbers Army keep up the pressure as a team, and it is a team effort right there as Nelly beats Serrano. Rydog gets the touch right to the middle to Loyboy, who taps it in, and Timbers Army take the lead, 1-0.
Yes, Smitty getting a little caught out there, and it's still looking a lot better than our first game. It looks a little bit closer to our third game, but obviously Timbers Army taking the lead, so we'll see how this game is different. Maybe Timbers Army just sort of opens up the wound and it's all over, or we'll see this aggressive shift sort of work out again for the rest of this match.
Oh, ball's loose yet again in the middle. Casey Cauldron don't have much boost to deal with this, and they still do just enough. Loyboy just trying to force it in with his Merc. Serrano meets him in kind. The ball now finally goes into the orange half.
That's good card control from Serrano to just sort of be in the exact right place to just sort of lightly tap that out. He's nearly out of boost there too. He gets just enough, and Funch has to do something there. That could have been real bad. Smitty, not much boost. Yeah, they just don't have the boost to be doing that much. As Serrano going for something, but he's just not far enough forward.
Now it's all on Funch to try and keep this attack going, but even he couldn't get to the ball. Smitty misses. Funch and Serrano have the boost. Serrano needs to follow this up. Funch just up to get it out. Oh, a big whip leads to Serrano. Opportunity right here. Ball towards the middle, and he pops it high up, and the ball goes way too far to the opposite end. But now it sits right there in front for Serrano, who didn't have much boost to do much more than a simple shot attempt. Timbers Army hold on. And honestly, I think they are looking likely to win this because every time they take the lead, they're a very tough nut to crack.
Absolutely, but Funch is going to have a shot! And Loyboy with an amazing save. You really feel like that's going to go in, and that could have been the equalizer there, and good on you from Loyboy.
His assignment was even tougher because Serrano was right there. And Serrano's fake didn't throw him off at all. But now this Casey Cauldron team starting to grow into this Game 5. Another center attempt, too close to the boys in orange. And now they got to go back because Timbers Army kicking off a counterattack. Potentially a second, but Nelly just couldn't get to the end of that.
Good recognition from Serrano there to realize he can't get to it. If he touches that ball, he might make some mistakes there. And instead, we are at 0-1, and this is still doable for Casey Cauldron. Let's see if we see some last-minute heroics.
Rydog gets the boost off his own corner. Smitty into the middle, going for the bump, but Rydog sees that coming, dodges it gracefully, but his team are still under a bit of pressure. Smitty trying to take it back into the corner. Rydog pops it over him. Funch chooses to let it go. He got a call from Serrano, I'm certain. Serrano trying to take over,
Yeah,
but
Funch
just
has been keeping that ball in. Sorry.
Wait, what about keeping that ball in?
Funch has been keeping that ball in. He had a really important touch to keep this attack going on as he's going to try to push that, but it's a little over the bar. Serrano pushes to the corner. Rydog going to sort of end this right here. It's not really where anybody can get to it, and Serrano, he can't get that to the wall.
You see what he tried to do there, but a huge 1-0 victory for Timbers Army as we head over into Game 6. Timbers Army are on match point. That was the most nervy game I've seen from these two sides. We'll see what Casey Cauldron respond with for the final alternate game mode in this matchup.
Yeah, it really does feel like the difference there is Loyboy. Just straight up, he's got the goal. He has 2 saves. Nobody else made a save on Timbers Army, so you have to think that you have anybody else in there and it all just falls apart for them. But the momentum stays where it is. They get that goal, and we're even. Or not even. We're 3-2 Timbers Army.
I mean, this match was pretty much all Loyboy. He had a major presence throughout. Nelly and Rydog were there contributing, but Casey Cauldron made their life so difficult. It was Loyboy who kept the composure and led them to victory. We'll see if he can do it again in this game 6. And Andrea,
All right.
you see where we are. You see the players. I think you know what's coming up next.
Yes, and it looks like at 3-2, we're going to see if Timbers Army can end this in Rumble as we go for Game 6 right now.
I apologize. They decided to go for it. Serrano, the RN genius. This was his top game mode a few years ago. We'll see if it works out for Casey Cauldron. The magnet comes out. Serrano tried to pull it up. Couldn't do enough to beat the Timbers Army opposition. And now we'll start to see more of these power-ups get triggered. Fudge with the spikes.
Absolutely, and if you got some mastery in it, you might as well go for it. As I suppose Serrano, that is an advantage. Not a lot of people run Rumble for fun, so you know.
The ice power-up beat. Insane. We saw 4 ice power-up triggers right there. I didn't think that many people would have the ice power-up going for them. Serrano having to pull off a save at the last second, though. Right now, it's still been Timbers Army.
Did you see the ice ball move on your screen as an ice ball?
Yep, that's not the first time. So if you combine the ice ball with like the magnet or the plunger, you can drag the ice ball out of its specific spot and it will just behave like a normal soccer ball while it's frozen.
I did not even know that. We have some big brain plays here going on in SGL Rumble.
Speaking of big brain plays, we're seeing a lot of canceling out going on between these players. Bit of rock, paper, scissors going on between these two sides and their power-up. Smitty tried to drag it in. And now a booming shot from Nelly with his strength power-up. Cannot follow this up with 0 boost, though.
And we have a swap here. Never really understood how the swap worked. Is it always with somebody on the other team, or
Yes.
can it be from both?
No, you cannot swap with your teammate. You can only swap with the opponent.
Okay. As Smitty gonna try to drive that in with spikes, but oh, we might see some. That's just normal Rocket League clearance. Okay, Loyboy pushing this down, but Serrano's right there, and he's gonna get kicked anyway. As Rydog going for the shot, but it's just a little over. Power from Nelly, power from Smitty, who has a power up. Serrano over center, but the switch stops the hit. And so it's just sort of in the middle, nobody expecting it to be there. And Smitty not able to do anything there. Serrano with the shot! Normal Rocket League shot. Beautiful through the air. And we are 1-0 Casey Cauldron. They won a game 7.
The RN Genius delivers with a normal Rocket League goal. As we enter the second half of Game 6, Casey Cauldron take the advantage. 1-0 to them. Might we be going to Game 7 right here?
Absolutely, and I really hope we do, because we've witnessed a great match tonight. Serrano, the, I believe RN Genius, as you said. I did not know that was the tag, but, Nelly gonna even things up with, was that a boot? A plunger? It was something.
It was the power of the punch as he forces it into the back of the net with a 91 mile per hour, 145 kilometer per hour haymaker. And it's tied 1-1. The equalizer coming at a perfect time with 2 minutes, 10 seconds remaining.
That was nearly something on the kickoff, but Loyboy just skillfully just sort of makes it languish in the corner there during normal Rocket League time. And nice punch, though, from Serrano. We have an attack here. He can't do anything with it. He gets kicked out. Smitty pushing it into the corner.
Incredible.
Keeps the attack on.
Loose ball right there, too, with a good opening. Both these sides are doing a terrific job to keep the ball away from the net. Now Loyboy takes over from the ceiling. Gets the first touch, gets the dunk! Great defending. Both Smitty and Fudge combining. Both getting the save. And it's still 1-1 between these two sides.
Oh my god, the spikes. He just doesn't have them for long enough, but he was making some great progress there. That's a beautiful kick when you got spikes. Keeping him away from that goal, and Schmitty able to make a save here. Funch trying to sort of keep putting it out for Serrano. It's over center. Nelly able to push it away from center, though. And yeah, we have a bit of a deadlock.
1 minute remaining. It can go either way. Both of these sides trying to keep themselves in the cup. Game 6, potentially going to game 7. If Louis Boy can do that with the spikes, he takes it over from Rydog. He carries it forward. And just like Kenneth Walker and Zach Bonnet, he runs it into the back of the net. Timbers Army lead 2-1 with 49 seconds remaining.
Screw that, buddy. Looked like Marshawn Lynch over there just rushing right through people. What the hell? Oh my. And now you gotta go if you're Casey Cauldron. You gotta... Oh, Lloyd Boy nearly... Oh, Rydog ends it right here. It's gonna be really difficult for Casey Cauldron now. Lloyd Boy nearly gets the normal shot. He's not able to get it to the left far enough, but I mean, Rydog, perfect plunger, using the rumble techniques to his advantage.
3-1 with 32 seconds remaining. Casey Cauldron need a kickoff goal right here, right now. But that goes into Timbers Army's favor. And Casey Cauldron are running out of time. They're going to go home if they lose this game 6. 20 seconds remaining. The ball is still in the blue half. Logan might seal the deal, but the plunger gets it away. A lot more.
They need to score right now. They need to score right now. It's not happening for them. It's not happening for them. Funch able to get it in the center, but just too many power-ups. It's chaos back there. It's not the chaos you want, and I believe Timbers Army has won.
Game, set, and match. Timbers Army, when faced with adversity, respond yet again. They beat Casey Cauldron 4-2. We might not have had Game 7, but we had a lot of tension, a lot of magic, and a lot of chaos. Timbers Army are now in the lower semifinal, and they will face one of Les Cinco Doce or EM Dallasburg.
And this is about what I think what I would have predicted, but it felt much closer, didn't it? It felt like a 7-game series, and it's very close there at the end. It almost feels like if we go to like a regular 3v3 or 2v2, maybe it's a little better. I think Timbers Army used the power-ups a little bit better on the Rumble game there.
They did. They also have experience playing Rumble. I mean, Lloyd Boy is a top-tier player in all game modes, so I'm not surprised to see him deliver right here. And again, he was the difference maker. When the going got tough, Lloyd Boy delivered. It's the story of the SGL season.
Absolutely. It's really hard to talk about Rumble in like a serious manner, but you did have just some great plays from Lloyd Boy. Rydog over here, also with that plunger goal at the end, that was actually really good use of everything, and they're kind of even on the night for this last game. Nelly, Rydog, Lloyd Boy, they all contributed, and it was very team first today. And Lloyd Boy had a lot of assists as well as goals, not just in this Rumble game, but in a lot of the 3v3s. And that drop shot game really showed their quality. I mean, through the air, they just seemed unstoppable in that drop shot game.
They absolutely were. I think that was a great choice by the Timbers Army players. And, you know, that game 5 was the turning point. They won that 1-0, and it felt like they had the momentum on their side, and they made it count. Even though they were pegged back by Casey Cauldron, they still made it count. They went down 1-0, by the way, and they came back. So that tells you all about how formidable this Timbers Army side is.
Absolutely. They were great in 3v3s. And I mean, Casey Cauldron was also great in that one 3v3. I mean, we saw amazing, aggressive play from them that is kind of the type of Rocket League I at least like to watch, where you're just going for 50s, you're really pushing at people, but it only worked for one game. And you saw them try to do it later, and it nearly did work against Timbers Army in the next 3v3, but they just sort of locked things down a little bit better. Sort of were able to get past them a little bit better, and so we're seeing Timbers Army move on and really look like one of the favorites for Cup.
Oh, they absolutely are. But let's give credit to this KC Cauldron side. I mean, they had to do with Serrano, Smitty, and Funch. You know, probably their least balanced three in this team. And they still made it difficult for Timbers Army. I mean, this Timbers Army team, they can absolutely pummel you if they want to, but KC Cauldron did a terrific job of keeping themselves in this. Funch stepped up big time as well. He was equal to whatever Timbers Army threw at him. So, you know, that tells you all about how good this KC Cauldron side can be when things start to click for them.
Absolutely, and it looks like we are going to be having Rydog in for interviews today, it seems.
We absolutely are. Let's drag him in. Let's hear his thoughts on this matchup. Chat, welcome on in. Rydog, good to have you here with us. What a terrific match from you guys against what was becoming a very difficult KC Cauldron team to beat. How did you guys overcome their step up in aggression and pressure?
Yeah, first off, shout out to them. Yeah, I mean, I've said it all season, like, on paper, they just don't have the results, but they're still, like, a top 3 roster in this league, and so you just can never sleep on them. Yeah, they dialed it up there, and I think it just took us by surprise. I don't think we played exceptionally great after, you know, kind of stomping them in game 1. I don't know what happened. I don't know if we just kind of let off the gas or what happened there, but yeah, no, they did really well, and we just had to make adjustments of just kind of matching their speed a little bit. And obviously their defense is always insane no matter who they play or what game mode it is. And so obviously like that other 3v3 game, we won 1-0. And those are the kind of matches we expected for the whole series, and that's kind of what it turned out to be.
Do you guys practice any wacky game modes before? I mean, we saw you just absolutely dominated in drop shot. In what was it? Snow Day, though, we saw a little bit of I guess Snow Day lends itself to that defense you're talking about, though. But you guys looked really good in extra game modes.
Yeah, we looked okay. We don't actually practice, to answer your question. I think we just, at least at our stage of like where we're at rank wise and everything, we just kind of know what to expect from each game mode. It takes us like the first 15-20 seconds to remember, like, okay, yeah, in hoops, like the ball bounces a little bit weird, or obviously it's a puck in Snow Day. So I think it's just that timing a little bit. So we probably look a little bit weird in the first few seconds of those extra game modes, trying to figure out what's going on, especially in Rumble. When we started, I literally said, guys, I have no idea how to play this, so best of luck. But obviously we got the job done there. And quick shout out to you having the clean, crisp mic. It sounds great.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And you got anything, Maz?
Yeah, a few questions. I mean, first of all,
I guess.
Oh,
I
sorry,
guess I could ask.
Go ahead, Andrea. I just unmuted myself, but go ahead.
I guess I could ask, after that 3v3 loss, is there a momentum shift, or are you just feeling like, okay, we're still doing great, we just got to get back to that, what we were doing in that first game? Because like it almost feels like there was a shift in like aggressiveness in the 3v3 game they won, where they were going for more 50s further up the field, and that really worked in their favor. How did you sort of counteract that?
Yeah, I think we definitely kind of leaned forward a little bit. And not to say that, like I said, this was never going to be a cakewalk by any means, but I think it was just, we won game 1 and felt really good, and obviously they came back in game 2 and game 3 and looked even better, and so we kind of just leaned forward a little bit of, I don't think anything specifically. I think, yeah, we just dialed up the speed a little bit. The comms were good the whole time, and just kind of knowing, like, the thing with KC is they're so well rounded everywhere that it's just hard to pick out a weakness. I feel like some teams in this league, you can kind of pick a weakness, whether it's a player or an attribute about a player, and you can kind of use that to your advantage. But the problem with them is they just don't have any, so you just kind of have to go with the flow. And that's why that other was it game 5, like we won 1-0. Like it was literally just one goal that separated us, and that's typically how the matches have been. I think game 1 was a fluke, to be honest. I think it was just them trying to warm up and us kind of peaking at that time. But so
So, Rydog, I mean, you have your mother here who's been in this stream from pretty much the beginning. How proud do you feel about turning up and performing this well against this KC Cauldron side in front of your own mother?
It's great. It's honestly great. I try and text her every time that we play, and she's obviously a big supporter in chat. And I'm actually not even home right now. I'm sure you guys saw with the ping. I'm actually visiting my grandma right now, so shout out my grandma too. But yeah, it's awesome. I think it's funny you say what kind of changed after game 3. My mom did text me and say score already. So we did say in chat in our Discord. I told that to the guys, and they were like, "Okay, yep, it's over for KC. Like they're not winning any more games." So and that's actually what happened. So I guess you can contribute the win to my mom texting me and saying score. So
incredible. I mean, that's absolutely incredible to hear. Mama Rydog being the source of inspiration for you guys right there. Incredible to see. Yeah, she says it best. Listen to your mother. And that's good advice for everyone watching this, whether live or on YouTube or as a VOD on Twitch. Listen to your mother.
Mother knows best. She's been playing since 2015.
Right, Rydog. So, you guys have had a bunch of goal fests against this KC Cauldron side, but when it really got defensively, how were you able to shift your mentality and be like, okay, it's going to be a low-scoring game. We just got to hold on. Like, what do you guys do to ensure that you're able to switch your approach to the game that well?
I think it's just lock in and just stay locked in, right? Like, that these games are going to be super close and super low scoring. And so it obviously Rocket League is such a momentum game and can just switch with one little mistake. And I feel like that's unfortunately happened to KC a lot this season. Of they've played well, but they've had one mistake and that's cost them the game, just being from the broadcast and watching VODs, etc. And so, ultimately, at least for me personally, it was knowing that was coming and just staying strong and staying locked in, of just like not worrying about the time, not worrying about anything else, of just what do I need to do in this moment that's going to help the team the best? What am I going to do in the next moment that's going to help the team the best? And I think there was plenty of that to go around. And so, you're able to pounce on those opportunities. But I think both teams were obviously super defensive and just trying to limit that mistake. Because obviously we know how good KC are in mechs and scoring goals and all that stuff. And so we were just super disciplined of being able to get clearances, reset, get boost, not get bumped, even though they went for bumps all the time and felt like every third comm was I'm bumped. But just staying composed in those moments and just allowing our attack to do what we do best, right? Nelly was doing the math earlier. I know this is not like the top 5 stats are only league, but he was saying that Landon has more goals than the rest of us combined on the team. So obviously we're going to lean on him for the offense, and he absolutely provided tonight.
I mean, that mental fortitude is incredible to see. I think you guys have the best mentals in all of SGL this season for sure. And hey, you're still in the cup, still making a run in the lower bracket, and you're into the lower semifinals. You will be facing off against one of EM Dallas Burn or Lacinco Dose. Which team out of these two would you prefer?
I don't know. I feel like EM can get hot at times. And they are obviously Luis is an insane player.
It's EM Dallas Burn, not El Matador.
Oh, it is Dallas Burn?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, then Caesar obviously on that team can pop off. Like, I feel like obviously they were the ones that upset us in round 1. So it'd be nice to get some revenge there and just kind of mark that as a fluke. But also I think Lacinco Dose, as we all know and love from this season, like have just been insane. And obviously I think they're still in 3rd or close to 3rd in league too. So if I had to pick one, I think personally speaking, I'd rather play EM Dallas Burn just to get that like more revenge there and kind of shake off that round 1 loss. But obviously that series is going to be super close.
Indeed. We can't wait to see how that unfolds tomorrow. But for now, Andrea, do you have any more questions?
No?
There you go, Rydog. The floor is all yours. Go ahead. Give your shout out. Say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, of course, I got to shout out my mom for tuning in. Appreciate her, as always. I'm coming home tomorrow, so I have to get up at like 5 o'clock to leave, but that's all good. Shout out my grandma too for the brief backstory. I completely surprised her. I had a work thing kind of near her, and I drove down to completely surprise her. So it's been a lot of fun this weekend. And then shout out my team, of course. They're insane. Shout out Sickness, because both Reese and Landon had their sick games, their MJ sick games. So that's awesome that they were able to perform. And then obviously KC, man, they're so good. Like I don't understand how they just keep not getting results. Like they're just such an insane team. And obviously the games with them are so close. And so obviously they're super fun to play against. So shout out them as well. And obviously shout out you guys for commentating and everything. And yeah, thanks for letting me pop in, and it's bedtime for me.
Indeed. Have yourself a good night, Rydog. Rest well. You earned it for sure after tonight. Take care. Catch you next
Thanks,
time.
guys. Appreciate it. Yep. Thank you.
All right. He did that on grandma internet.
I think that makes it even more incredible, doesn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
Well, it's time for us to wrap up as well. But before we do, let's take a quick look at the Premier Cup as it stands. And as you can see, Timbers Army are through to the lower semifinal. They'll have to face off against one of EM Dalsburg or La Cinco Doce. That match will happen tomorrow. But from what you can see, the upper bracket is all done. We have our first grand finalist after this week. Frontera SD Chrome in the grand final. Who will they face? We'll see over the next few weeks.
Absolutely, and I think you're not looking forward to playing El Matador in the lower final later either. At lower semifinals, Los Cinco Doce, that's a bit difficult. Dallas Burn, that can be difficult. I don't think there's any teams that you're like, I want them left on this. I don't really think there are any teams where you're like, I want them in the Premier. I think this could be difficult if you face anyone.
Yeah, we've seen it this season. Every team can step up and go big. You know, even a struggling Sounders RC can step up and go big. We already saw them got their first win in the league. We'll see if they can keep that going starting next week. But until then, we have 2 more matches. We have one right here remaining, EM Dalsburg versus La Cinco Doce. And in the Championship Cup, we have EC Eternal, your team, Andrea, versus Los Verdes. Can't wait to see how that will develop too. And what do you or Los Verdes will be facing off against Steel Army in the next round?
That's a scary one. I'm looking forward to Los Verdes, and if we can get through, I'm looking forward to Steel Army. If we could somehow get through there, I'm looking forward to FSD Azul. A couple of matches that we feel like we could have done better, and that's going to be fun.
Indeed. So keep an eye out for when the stream will kick off tomorrow. Chat, EC Eternal versus Los Verdes, and EM Dalsburg versus La Cinco Doce. But for now, we are done. Thank you very much for hanging out with us tonight, catching this insane cup match. Thank you very much, Andrea, for being in the commentary booth with me and playing a big part in making for an entertaining stream and viewing experience. Much appreciated.
All right, GG's.
Good night. We will see you all tomorrow. Peace.